Hi, this is Carolyn, and I'm here with Aaron, and we really appreciate Tom and Dave coming back on the podcast to discuss annoying situations on the court. We would love to hear from them what they think is annoying, especially from a man's perspective. So, Dave, can you start us off and tell us what you think is annoying on the tennis court?
Well, thanks for having us back. The most annoying thing that happens to me is when the opponent shows up.
Right. I just want to default to court. I was hoping nobody would show and we would just get a default win.
That's it.
That's awesome.
Just kidding, because we love to play. I can tell you that the annoying things can come from multiple sources. Okay, you got annoying, potentially the audience or standby people. The opponents can be very annoying. And lastly, your partner can be really annoying.
We've had that episode. Yep.
Yeah. Well, and I've been the annoying partner. First of all, you have to understand your partner. And if it's a new person that you haven't played a lot with, there's a relationship on your side of the net with your partner, right? Tom and I have played a lot, and we pretty much learned that we can say whatever we want and not, we don't coach each other. We don't, that, but it's like, so one time I'm trying to be very aggressive at the net, and I think he served and the ball comes back and I decide I'm poaching, and I fly like a gazelle through the air. I'm horizontal about 6 feet up.
Really small gazelle.
And I hit the ball because I'd come from the ad side of the net all the way over to the do side, probably for a return that he could have easily got with his forehand. But somehow I decided I was poaching that ball. And of course, I throw it into the net. And I hear, why the blank did you do that? Okay, so now for Tom, he's ready for the next point. And
right.
For me, it's in my head. I'm thinking, oh, I really did something stupid. Now my partner's mad at me. Oh, I got to make, but you know what I learned? Because we played together, he doesn't even remember saying that. And 2 minutes later, we're just on to the next point.
Mm-hmm.
And so just because somebody says something that might be annoying or offensive or in your head doesn't mean that it means anything big to them. So this game's so mental, right? How about you, Tom?
Yeah. So I guess for me, it was actually an opponent, and I don't like to talk badly about opponents, so I won't really even talk about the situation we were in. But we were playing, and my partner was serving, and he served. The guy returned it. I was at the net. I put it away, and the person that wasn't on the receiving end said, "Wait, stop! That was a foot fault. You guys don't get that point. That was a foot fault." And I looked at him. I said, "A foot fault? You don't get to call foot faults, right? From there, it doesn't work." And he was just insistent that it was a foot fault. He's been doing it all day. It's a foot fault, and it happened to be in a situation where there were tournament directors there. So I said, "Look, we'll just call one of them over." And he proceeds to berate this poor woman about, and she said, "I don't even know." Right. I don't know what the answer is, but she went to the club pro who was giving a lesson, who took his time to come over and answer, listen. And the guy says, "No, you can't call foot fault." This opponent still keeps arguing, complaining about this thing. So the guy picks up the phone. He calls a contact he has at USTA Tennis. And the person asks him, do you have umpires there? No. Then there is no such thing as a foot fault.
Yep.
The guy still argues, to which point I give the guy, I give the pro a lot of credit. He looks at the guy and says, "Just remember, you're a guest here."
Right.
And unfortunately, he didn't really back down on that. Then he looks at me and he says, "Well, I want to replay the point." There is no replaying. There's no such thing as replaying a point in USTA. We don't do it. So he finally moved forward, and it had gotten so much into his head that next serve was to him. And he decides he's just going to try to rip it at me at the net. Of course, he hits it in the net. And what was a relatively close match wasn't close.
It came up blowout.
He just came undone. And then he was still talking about it afterwards, which is interesting because I don't think guys tend to do that. I think it happens in the court and it ends. I think it's beer time, right? We're going to talk about it, and we might not discuss those things we didn't like that happened on the court, but we can still all sit around and joke and have a beer and be done with it. And I don't think that's the case. You guys tell me. I don't think that's the case in women's matches.
That is not the case in women's matches.
No.
That woman would be dead to me. I would tell all my friends about her and make sure that we never, played in a match against her again. And I love that you guys can do that, though. Have that. I mean, that's a big conflict. That guy sounded like there was something going on. He was really upset about it, in addition to a foot fault. But I do love that you guys can just leave it on the court, have a beer after, and move on.
And the result of this was you went back to playing, and the guy was so upset.
He lost it. He's mentally just wasn't. He was checked out. He wasn't ready to go. I see the other thing that's a little annoying to me when I go to play tennis. I want to play. I am not between sets. I don't sit down. I might not get back up again, so I just stay standing, move around, get ready to go.
Yeah.
And when people want to talk incessantly about, whatever, their job, their this, their that, I just want to play tennis. And I know that's a bad thing. Even when I'm playing for fun and it's just a bunch of guys hitting, we can talk afterwards, right? When we got a couple of coolers of beer, we know we're going to sit around and talk afterwards. Save your discussion for afterwards. We're on the court. Let's play tennis. So if I ever had a guy tell me about his kids and grandkids, I'd really be annoyed. And I know the women, everything about their family by the time the match is over.
Some women, yep.
Dave, I'm going to put you on the spot. A certain serve, no serve situation that happened.
So, this was not that it mattered a lot. It happened to be a tournament at States again, and was the first serve. And I had chosen to select a slice, which is not my normal first serve, but just trying to change up the pattern. And I've been taught on a slice to really emphasize, to really get that ball going, you need to kind of wrap your racket around the ball, almost like if you're spinning a basketball on your hand, right? So you got to come around and right as you hit it, circle around. Well, I did that exact motion, except I missed the ball. I went right around it, right? But I realized that and put my hand out and caught the ball. So now the question is, did that count as a first serve?
Ooh.
Did you hit it and miss? You went to hit and you missed.
I swung.
Total whiff.
You whiffed. You whiffed it.
No.
Totally
But
whiffed.
you totally
and the ball did
swung
not
his
bounce
racket
on the ground. I actually caught it. So it kind of looked like a bad toss that I caught, except I did swing.
Okay.
So now the question is this count
this
as
is
a first
a good. I feel like timeout.
It should be second serve.
Yeah,
it should be second.
I was going to say. I feel like this is a question for Rebel Good.
I think if you swing and miss, it's second serve.
Yeah.
We were convinced we were the rule experts. And that since
everyone
he did not make contact with that serve, and since he caught it, that it wasn't truly a serve. So again, the tournament director comes over.
Well, first of all, let me back up. It so happened that both captains were observing our game.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And they're of opposite opinions.
Shocking.
So honestly, I didn't really know the rule for that. I wasn't sure, but I felt that if I caught it, it didn't count, but I wasn't sure.
Right.
And now they got two captains arguing. So they go to the tournament.
Intently. I mean, the other team's captain was just, to the point of berating our captain about it.
Right.
And I'm thinking, it's my first serve. It doesn't really matter because I think I'll get the second serve in. But guess what happens is we go on, they check with the tournament director, and I think they checked with somebody else even. I think it was the tournament, like a coordinator out in the courts, who then checked with the coordinator. And they said, well, if he caught the ball, well, then it's not a serve. So therefore, it's back to first serve. Well, hold on.
Yeah.
I thought it was. So they say, okay, and nobody's happy now, and I take my first serve over again, which whatever.
I think he netted it.
I think I netted it too, right? But this is like 10 or 15 minutes later, right? Honestly, I didn't care that much about that serve, and I would rather kept the momentum and all that stuff. But anyhow, you have this whole, And so anyhow, we found out by the end of the match, because people made more phone calls,
Right.
that is a wrong call. If you swing, period, that is a first serve.
It's the intent. If your intent was to swing and serve, you've served.
Yep. And so anybody listening, be sure, if you not comfortable with your toss, do not even attempt to swing. And if you do swing and miss, it counts as a first serve.
So, Tom, are you telling us that this annoying situation, you were the annoying person in the situation?
No, I was the one facing the other way who had no idea that he's.
I'm sorry, Dave. I meant Dave.
What was going on?
I'm sorry. I meant Dave. Dave,
yeah,
were you
the annoying person?
Are you saying your opponents were annoying because they were arguing, or you were the one because you?
The most annoying part was this whole
the waiting,
the delay.
Yeah,
15 minutes.
And I'll take part of it because I was convinced I was right on the rules. Right? I mean, I knew I was 100% convinced I was right, and when the tournament director backed me up, I was just it's great.
That's awesome. I have never heard of that happening during a match to take that long, to figure out a rule in the middle. I mean, not only were you in the middle of a match, you were obviously in the middle of a game. Like you were, it was between a first and second serve, which
I'll have to say, I have never swung and missed before
since. Yes.
I mean, it's.
But if
That's
he does,
awesome.
I know the rule.
We know the rule.
You know what? We were going to make a list of like top 10 rules that maybe adult recreational players should know. And so I'm going to add that to the list.
That might be a
very
bonus.
Rare.
Number 11.
That may be a bonus. Yeah. Like people probably don't really need to know it because what are the odds it's going to happen?
I mean, who would miss a serve, right?
I mean
come on.
Only an idiot.
Thanks to Dave and Tom for discussing the situations that annoy them. There's a part 2 of this episode where I go through the things that annoy me, and they seem pretty petty compared to the things that annoy them. Also, I double-checked the rule from Friend at Court. It's on page 10 of the Rules of Tennis, number 19, and it states a service is a fault if the server misses the ball when trying to hit it. If you'd like to check out Friend at Court, you can go to the resources section of our website, which is secondservepodcast.com. Thanks so much for listening and hope to see you on the court soon.